Hello, welcome back to my channel, Thriving, Not Just Surviving. Today I'm going to share with you my meditation method, which has helped me so much and I found so valuable over the last few years. Now, I've been meditating for 20 years, but recently I changed my meditation method to do a shorter 15-minute breathing meditation, and I found that has helped me so much. It's really meant that I have been consistent with my meditation, doing it every day, and that is what has made the biggest change. The science is clear that we should all be meditating. We know that it's really good for reducing stress, it gets your blood pressure down, it reduces bad cholesterol, it reduces your risk of many lifestyle and age-related illnesses such as diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, and even can reduce risk factors for things like cancer. But now the science is also clear that it's really good for anti-aging and it is a fantastic longevity practice. A 2013 study found that there is a positive association between a daily 15-minute meditation practice and the length of telomeres. Now, what are telomeres? A telomere is a region of the chromosome, which is at the end of the chromosome, and it stops a chromosome from getting frayed or damaged. Now, each time a cell divides, the telomeres get shortened a little bit, and this happens naturally as we age. Eventually, the telomeres get so short that the cell is no longer able to divide, and the cell therefore dies. This is the natural aging process. We want to be doing a daily 15-minute meditation in order to slow down aging and to protect us against many of these age-related illnesses. Another way in which meditation is fantastically beneficial, and I've seen this myself, is so our normal brainwaves are what's called beta brainwaves. That is the normal kind of monkey mind where your brain is just chattering and flitting from one thought to the next. That is normal, healthy brainwaves. But when we're under a lot of stress, our brains go into something called high frequency beta. That's characteristic of a very stressed out person. Now, the problem with high frequency beta is it actually shuts down rational thinking and it shuts down the ability to make decisions. So if you're in a high power job where you need to make decisions daily, something like Secretary of State or CEO of a multinational corporation, but if you're also very, very stressed, you're going to be less able to make those decisions that you need to make because you're going to be regularly going into high frequency beta. A lot of people tell me I don't have time to meditate. My answer would be I don't have time not to meditate, because meditation, it actually changes your brainwaves. It stops you from being in that high frequency beta where you're no longer able to make effective decisions and your brain just doesn't function as well. And it actually slows the brainwaves down to take them more to a delta phase, whereby you're not only able to make better decisions, but you also feel much calmer and you're less likely to be triggered by emotional responses. So I found this in my own life that, meditation has made all the difference. I've become a better parent, a better friend, a better partner. For me, meditation, it does have the effect on our physical body. It has the effect of delaying or reducing our risk for certain diseases and age-related conditions. But it also has the mental piece and the spiritual piece of actually making us happier, making our thoughts perform more effectively, and just increasing our quality of life and ultimately making us happier. The most common thing I hear people say is that I cannot relax my mind. As soon as I close my eyes and start to try to meditate, it's almost as if I'm thinking even more than I am in normal everyday life. You are not actually thinking more than you are in ordinary life. Once we sit down and we meditate, we're actually aware of how much we are thinking. We are aware of our thoughts jumping from one to the next. Normally that process happens without us even being aware, but as soon as you become aware of it, it makes you feel as if your thoughts are jumping even more rapidly than normally, but they're not. With meditation, we are not trying to stop the thoughts. That is impossible. The human brain is designed to think. That is what our brains do. That is what our brains are designed to do. If we couldn't do that, we wouldn't be able to get through the day-to-day activities that we need to do. What we're trying to do is stop the thoughts from running on from one to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, ad infinitum. Basically, as soon as we realise that our thoughts have jumped on from one to the next and we've got involved in a little story in our brain, that's when we want to bring our brain back to our breath. Rather than stop the thoughts, we're trying to delay the space between one thought and then the next. And eventually, as time goes on and we get better at that, we will be slowing down our thoughts and we will be having less thoughts and increasing those moments of silence between the thoughts in such a way that we feel less stressed. Now, what I found is that for me, the breathing meditation is the simplest meditation on the planet, but it is also the best. I have found that the skills that I practice daily in that breathing meditation, I'm easily able to transfer those skills over into my everyday life. Because what you're actually practicing when you're taking your attention onto the breath is you're practicing taking your thoughts out of your mind and placing your thoughts instead in your body, typically in your chest or in your belly. And what that does, it means that when I'm stressed in everyday life, like if, for example, I'm having a day at work where I'm feeling very overwhelmed, a lot of tasks are coming in rapid succession, that is a kind of situation where I used to feel very stressed, and unintentionally, without even realizing it, I would start increasing my breathing, the shoulders start going up, the face starts becoming constricted, maybe even your fists start kind of clenching. But now what happens is the minute I start feeling myself getting overwhelmed, I notice I'm getting overwhelmed, because my daily breathing meditation practice makes me so aware of my breath that as soon as I'm feeling overwhelmed and my breath starts increasing, I become aware that I'm feeling stressed. Instead of staying in my head in all of the overwhelmed thoughts, oh my goodness, I've got so many tasks to do, how am I going to get through all this? I drop my attention away from my thoughts and into my breath, start breathing deeply. My brain waves go from beta to delta, and therefore I'm actually more easily able to accomplish those tasks because now I'm no longer in for high frequency beta. So to me, the breathing meditation has been a life-changing practice, and I really, really hope and encourage you to consider at least, starting. You don't have to start off with 15 minutes. If you feel like 5 minutes is the most you can do at the beginning, 5 minutes is better than nothing. It's kind of the same way with exercise. I always tell people, if you don't have time for a full hour, just do half an hour. If you don't have time for half an hour, just do 15 minutes. So really with meditation, you are trying to do 15 minutes daily would be ideal. But if you don't have time for that, even just try 2 minutes at the beginning and then start working your way up gradually. I would urge you to use a timer. I think if you don't use a timer, then what tends to happen is you keep just looking at your watch all the time. And then obviously each time you do that, you're breaking yourself out of that meditative state. Ideally, you want to be getting into a kind of a trance type state, your brain waves to be slowing down, and then maintaining that state for the entire 15 minutes. A lot of people struggle with sitting down, keeping their back straight with the crossed legs. If you find it difficult, if you are very tight in the hips, I sympathise because I'm very tight in the hips. I've increased my flexibility a lot over the years, but I'm still, I will always have tight hips. I think that's just the way I was born. It's just the way my body is. So as a result, I find it very difficult to sit cross-legged unless my back is supported. So what I do, and you can see here, I'm actually sitting, this is my headboard. So I'm sitting against my headboard and I have a pillow against my lower back here. So I'm propped up against the headboard with a pillow against my lower back. And then I just have my legs stretched out. Simple, so I'm very, very comfortable. I do think with meditation, it is very important that your body is extremely comfortable. If your body is not comfortable, you'll spend the entire meditation fidgeting and just focusing on the discomfort of your body. So I think what's more important than sitting cross-legged is just making sure you're super comfortable. Another really good option for people who struggle to sit cross-legged is just sitting in a straight back chair, something like a simple wooden chair, or, the classical old church pews, or, a straight back kitchen chair is ideal. Something that allows you to put your feet flat on the floor and just sit with a straight back. A third option can be actually sitting on a cushion but against a wall. So your back is supported against that wall and you're sitting on the floor but on a cushion. Some people find they can cross their legs if they sit wedged up on a cushion. Perhaps if you're on a yoga bolster or propped up on two cushions, then you can cross your legs. But I would say only do that option if you can genuinely sit comfortably like that for 15 minutes. Because what tends to happen to me, for example, is I'll be fine for the first 8 to 9 minutes and then I'll start getting pins and needles, I'll start getting cramping sensations, and that will distract me and mean that I either have a bad meditation or that I have to end the meditation early. So I would urge you to just make sure you get in a really comfortable position and, in such a way that you're able to focus on the meditation for the entire 15 minutes. So now what I'm going to do is turn down the camera on me. I'm going to put a lovely Shri Yantra, which I drew myself, which I hope you're going to enjoy, on the screen. And then you're just going to hear my voice, and we're going to go into a lovely, relaxing, guided 15-minute breathing meditation. I hope you enjoy. Settling down comfortably with your feet flat on the floor if you're in a straight back chair. Or maybe you're sitting in bed with your legs outstretched and your back straight against the headboard. Or perhaps you're on the floor with your back straight against the wall and you're propped up on a couple of cushions. I wouldn't advise lying down because you will fall asleep. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sound the bell and then we'll begin. And then when I sound the bell at the end of the 15 minutes, that is the end of the meditation. So closing your eyes and relaxing. And just forget about the outside world. Take your attention away from the outside world. And now let us begin. We're going to start with a body scan. Take your attention to your feet. Relax your feet. Take your attention to your ankles and your shins. Relax your ankles and shins. And as your attention spreads up your body to your thighs, relax your thighs. And now that relaxing feeling spreads into your buttocks and your seat. Relax that area. Take your attention to your torso, to your belly and your chest. Relax your midsection. Imagine all of the organs of your body completely relaxing. Relax your chest. Relax your back and your shoulders. Relax your upper arms. That relaxation spreads into your forearms. Relax your hands. Make sure your fingers are floppy. Imagine your body is relaxed enough that you could sleep in this position. Now take your attention to your neck. Relax your neck. Spread that relaxation into your face muscles. Make sure your jaw is relaxed. Relax your tongue. Unfurrow your brow. Relax your cheeks. Relax your forehead. Totally relax your face. Now your entire body should be so relaxed you're barely even aware of it. Now take your attention to your breath. We're going to take 3 large breaths before breathing normally. So breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth to the count of 3. 1. And each time you breathe, you're going to relax a bit more. 2. Relax. Last one. 3. Relax totally. take your attention inside your body. As the breath comes in through the nose and out through the nose, you're going to just follow that breath. It goes in through the nose, all the way into the lungs, the belly expands, and then as you breathe out, the belly deflates, the lungs deflate, and the breath comes out of the nose again. Now here, you're not trying to control your breaths. You're simply observing the breath. Notice how as the breath comes in through the nostrils, it's a bit colder, the air is a bit cooler, and then as you breathe out, the air is slightly warmer. Notice how as you breathe in, your chest rises, your belly expands slightly, and then you breathe out and your chest lowers and your belly flattens slightly. If you notice your mind wandering, gently bring it back to the breath. Don't get angry with your mind. The mind thinks, that's what it does. You wouldn't get angry with a toddler who is chasing after a butterfly. Your mind is a toddler, the butterfly are thoughts. The mind chases thoughts, that's just what it does. So don't get angry. Just bring your mind gently back to the breath. One thing you may find helpful, if your mind keeps wandering, is to do another quick body scan. Just scan over your body with your mind and check that nothing is clenched, nothing is tight, your face is relaxed. And then take a couple of deep breaths again and bring your mind back to your breath. One thing you may find helpful is to focus on this tiny space between breaths. Now let's be clear, I'm not saying control your breaths, but as you breathe in and then you breathe out, there is a tiny, tiny gap before you breathe in again. Focusing on this gap is focusing on eternity. Before we breathed our first breath, we were in eternity. After we breathe our final breaths, we'll be in eternity again. So the absence of breath is really a space in which we're in eternity. And I find if I focus on that tiny space between breaths, without controlling my breath, just focusing on it, I find that helps to calm my mind. It helps to induce a meditative state of mind, which is what we want. If your thoughts have wandered, bring them gently back to the breath. Now we're doing fantastically well. We're almost at 10 minutes, so there's going to be about another 5 minutes to go. What I'm going to do for the final 5 minutes, and I'll tell you when that starts in a moment, is to just keep absolutely silent, and then you can practice yourself just bringing your thoughts gently back each time to the breath without any help from me. You can do it. We can all do it. And we're into the final 5 minutes. I'll keep quiet and you'll hear a bell at the end of the meditation. Well done. That brings us to the end of the meditation. If you've enjoyed this content, please hit like, please hit subscribe, and please do share it with as many people as you can. I really hope and pray that as many people in the world as possible start practicing a daily 15-minute meditation. I honestly think it has the power to change the world. And if you can share it with as many people as you know as possible, then you can help me to achieve that aim of introducing as many people as possible to this fantastic daily practice. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you soon.